Hello everybody and welcome back to my Let's Play of Star Trek Judgment Rites. We are in now the central part of the ship, or underneath it, which seems to have the computer set up, and we're now trying to figure out what's wrong with this ship and why is it going to land on that colony and maybe stop it. Talk with these.
Captain, this place is disturbing.
I agree.
Of course, that's probably because I don't understand it. It's amazing how something that once seemed disturbing can become ordinary when you understand it.
I don't know what to say, Jim. This place is genuinely weird.
This room is thoroughly fascinating, Captain. I theorize that this is a virtual space replica of the interior workings of the artificial intelligence which the Phase represent. The interface is seamless, and work performed in here is functionally identical to working directly in the computer. Like so much we've seen before now that is highly advanced technology, yet archaic 20th century style wiring carries the electronic information.
Yeah, that's a little odd. I'm not going to talk with Kirk because I did this just about a minute ago, and I talked to Kirk and something really strange happened and destroyed this thing, so I'm gonna not talk to him.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain.
Oh, come on.
This web wire wall reads somewhat like an antique hand-wired computer circuit, Captain, and at the same time like something which surpasses even what can be found aboard the Enterprise. This damaged area does not appear to be functioning, but based on information I acquired from my interaction with Puzzlewit, I could attempt to repair it with a connector and some wire.
What they need this light say?
A sealed tube with connectors at either end, which can provide illumination when inserted into an appropriately powered socket.
We have some wire, we could...
I fail to see what useful purpose.
see.
If you'll bring that over to me, I might have a better suggestion if I took a closer look at it.
Okay. He's twisting off the ends.
I worked with things like these when I was younger. Given our surroundings, see if you don't find this more useful.
We've got connectors now, maybe we can put them with the wire.
These two things seem appropriate to use together, but it would be better to get the connector in place before trying to attach the wire.
Allow me, Captain. Let me do that. The information I acquired from Puzzlewit's mind indicates this could be a delicate operation, easily mishandled. I think you will find it fits just here. Lieutenant Uhura, if you will bring over that length of wire while I hold this in place, I believe we can get this repaired speedily.
Certainly, Mr. Spock. With that in place, I can see that it will easily fit. Here. The final connection is made, and Uhura smiles widely. That's it! That fixes the broken connection.
Thank you. I am now once again whole, and no longer an intelligence divided against myself. The system you repaired will re-enable me to analyze and update received data from external and internal sensor systems, altering conceptual constructs of previously acquired data. These systems appear to have been malfunctioning for some time, although it will take additional review to clarify all conditions. Much may have been lost permanently.
Jim, do you notice? The phase isn't switching between I and we like it did in the oratory, and the voice is a single note, not a harmonic chord of blended voices.
And it hasn't suggested we go get something to eat either.
I am chagrined that my disabilities have endangered my mission. The Compassion was launched with the best of intentions. If I can answer anyone's questions, I will endeavor to do so.
So now it's actually working. So we could probably find out if it's going to land on the colony still.
Captain Kirk, you don't mind if I ask a question, do you?
You'll get your turn, Klingon. Just hold your horses. Other things come first. Be my guest, Captain. Ask away. You'll get your turn, Klingon. Just hold your horses. Other things come first. Be my guest, Captain. Ask away.
That you give me first place to speak is a mark of honor, Captain Kirk, and does not pass unnoticed, particularly in light of the urgency of your own questions. Hayes, this ship passed through the heart of Klingon space. We were not even aware of it until it was nearly out of our territory. We backtracked it and found it must have closely approached places we find sensitive. We expect assurances that data you may have collected there will not reach the hands of those who mean us harm.
We seek proof. We expect you to download your entire memory into our ship's computers, that we may search it for data you have no right to.
Okay, that's... Clark was asking nicely and stuff and just only for certain data, and then his aide goes in and saying he wants everything.
Thereby would you not acquire data to which you have no right?
My aide speaks too strongly. While it is true we are interested in the knowledge and technology you possess, technology to pass through our empire undetected, knowledge of how to twist space back upon itself, for that data, we will treat with you as one civilized people with another. But it is a justified request that we ask you to destroy all data dealing with anything you learn within our borders.
Had I any data, I would agree to seal it. However, as you should have deduced, I have none. Until my sensory systems were repaired, my ability to receive and process data was severely impaired, especially in regard to external data updates. Based on my present reanalysis of nearby space, I would speculate that my only data on your present sphere of influence would be as that area of space existed a very long time ago indeed.
So I guess this has been around for about 1600 years.
That is information for us to know, not you. Erase it.
Silence! Hayes, we would welcome access to that information, but on the same basis as we would bargain with you for technological data. We have more to offer with you, I believe, than the Federation represented by these others.
Klingon kong parha nesoe hadkla. So web kordo.
Guess they're angry at each other.
Phase, do not be hasty making that decision.
I lack sufficient data to make any assessment. I can give no answer at this time.
The primary reason we came aboard was to find a way to stop you from landing on top of our colony on Atopus, which would certainly kill thousands of our people. Now that your external senses are functional, have you altered your plans about where you intend to put the ship down?
No, Captain Kirk. I will certainly not set the Compassion down in a populated area, now that I can see it is there. I am at present in communication with the planetary authorities, and they are directing me to a stationary orbit until further arrangements can be made for my wards.
I bet that's a bit of a relief with those guys out on the ground.
Then are there other questions?
Is the ship still set to land on Atopus colony? How did your systems become damaged?
I am sorry I cannot explain this at this time. I do not even know if it is explicable, but I will search my memory for an answer for you. Then are there other questions?
Is the ship still... Please clarify the anomalies we have perceived while being on board.
I am sorry I cannot explain this at this time. Then are there other questions?
Is the ship still... Please clarify the...
I'm curious about what your builders really had in mind, shipping off all these people off-planet. There seems to have been some shadier agenda. The eugenics wars of our own past produced some of the ugliest abuses in human history. And notorious characters like Khan Noonien Singh, whose name still resounds with infamy. How is this ship you call the Compassion justified?
I have no information about your eugenics wars. But a fundamental social philosophy of the Builders was that civilized people of goodwill would tolerate and value variability as a sign of cultural and social health. That a civilization will be judged by its tolerance of disparate ideas, by how it treats those who cannot protect themselves, be they very young, very old, or otherwise challenged, by the measure of altruism extended to those less powerful, even when rightfully in possession of something desired.
Okay.
A central aspect of Vulcan philosophy is embodied in the Idic: infinite diversity in infinite combinations. It would seem the Builders pursued similar high ideals.
High ideals, perhaps, but that does not explain why these people are in space phase.
More than this I cannot explain. However, you can locate additional library data under the heading Compassion. Oh, I haven't made it available. I should have done that immediately. I can't imagine why I didn't think of it.
Fascinating, Captain. That instance of forgetfulness makes it possible to speculate that the phase is not wholly restored after all.
Then are there other questions?
Is the ship still... Please clarify.
I'd still like to know a little more about...
I'd be interested to learn more about those who built this ship. Their achievements certainly seem erratic in sophistication, but much of it goes beyond even what we are capable of accomplishing today. For example, the Paralance medium for recording computer data is something we are only now beginning to explore. I think there's much to be learned from these people.
My best recommendation is to examine the library records under Builders or Technology. There is more data than I can easily explain. Then are there other questions?
Is the ship still set to... Please clarify the anomalies we have perceived while...
I would still like to learn more about these people.
Uhura is asking at that time.
That's all for now, Phase. I assume we can talk to you if we have more questions.
I will do my best, Captain. Although intelligent entities often find that there are more questions than answers.
Let's get that Paralance there.
The crystalline lens feels cool and surprisingly heavy, with smoothly polished edges. This seems pointless.
Okay. This looks like it's a input.
The lens slips easily into the terminal's reading port and the screen activates.
Compassion. The name of a Cetic-class starship. The name signified the compassion for the travelers, all of whom were diagnosed with life quality inhibiting disorders of Class 3 or higher. After a full generation of debate on ethics, a consensus opinion was reached, the so-called Diagi decision. Final planned destination of the Compassion was a return to Shambrum in 4 generations.
That's interesting.
Now, just 1 minute, Phase. Are you listening? You keep saying you can't remember or you lack data or what have you. Even the library data seems vague, incomplete, and contradictory. If you don't know, then who does?
Forgive the pause. I had to think long and hard to discover if you had correctly passed this final test. You correctly identify the heart of the matter. Let me introduce you to my Builders.
Test?
This is madness! Phase, what is this?
Despite our misgivings, you have shown yourselves to be the representatives of spacefaring peoples we, the Brassica, would most trust to make first contact with. The contest has been in progress for some time, situations in which your true colors have been explored. The invitation has been made. You may return to your ship if you prefer, or you may step through whenever you are ready. Then, the final round begins.
So this ship was all a test by the Brassica. First it was on Balcos 3 in the Balcosi. Then it was on the that barren world which had those cultures of single-celled organisms, and now it's the ship.
I think you have it right, Captain Clark. This is madness, Jim.
I think, Bones, it's Shakespeare who had it right. Though this be madness, yet there is a method in't.
I agree with the sentiment, Captain Kirk. There is something more going on here, far deeper than first appearances have suggested. I imagine you will accept the invitation. I will certainly choose to go, whether you do or not. I believe the invitation is extended to all.
I will not permit that, Captain Clark. I will take all methods to prevent you. I will not go. It is certainly a Federation trick.
That guy's just an ignorant idiot.
You begin to sound like Tusken in the other room. Get a grip of yourself and act like an officer.
I have a strange feeling about this room. We might find a lot of answers here. Is the ship still... Please, Clara.
I'd still like to know...
I would still...
That's all for now, Faze. I assume we can...
I will do...
Let's see if we could scan the portal.
Captain, I'm getting a thoroughly anomalous reading. This passage definitely defies the physical laws of space and time.
Are you suggesting it might be some kind...
The doors
Okay.
on this ship have given previous evidence of this kind of warping. Although the passages on this ship seem normal, they appear to curve space without resorting to hyperspace generation, like the Enterprise's engines. That represents achievements of technology beyond our own abilities.
I think that's how they explain of how the ship has such a weird design to it.
They certainly aren't as capable in the field of medicine. These people are suffering from genetic and chemical conditions that we've been able to treat for the last century. It's barbarous to pack them into this ill-conceived generation ship and hope by the time they make the return trip that those left behind will have figured out something more humane to do with them.
Captain, if I may interject, that disparity is something we've glimpsed throughout this ship. There is a sophisticated food delivery system and a food-producing hydroponics garden. It is as if the parts of this ship don't fit together, or as if there were some purpose beyond the obvious.
I was thinking the same thing myself.
And
Okay,
I
that's
also,
already-
Captain...
It's going through there, so let's see if we could go
Captain
through.
Clark, I will not let you depart. These human scum have tricked you. If I have to beat up all of you, I will. You, Vulcan, you understand orders. Help me knock out my mad captain. And I will take him away and out of your hair.
You can see that they're talking to each other. Ooh. He's acting all tough and strong, and he gets knocked out by his captain, who's just definitely older than him. Let's go through that portal.
Mr. Scott, they've disappeared off the sensors.
What do you mean, laddie?
They've just vanished.
That's like to be a to be continued. Yet there's a method in it.
Captain's log, stardate 6269.3. The landing party and the Klingon Captain Clark have passed through a portal in time and space. We're about to face tests by the Brassica. Success will mean formal relations. Failure will mean unknown.
Welcome. We applaud your willingness to confront the unknown.
Please tell us what's going on. Where are we?
Patience. I cannot answer all yet. Those elements of our society still ill at ease with your cultures have more questions.
We've had enough. No more foolish tests. More tests. Let's just get on with it. I'd like to hear what the others think. We've had enough. No more foolish tests. I'd like to hear what the others think.
I will withdraw until you address me again.
Okay, I'm going to call it a Let's Play here. So,
Save new game.
I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.